The next morning around 10, Cyborg was up making breakfast. He was making scrambled eggs with cheddar cheese and chives, grits, sausage, bacon, and of course, waffles. She took her normal morning shower, then put on her dark purple robe and slippers and headed into the kitchen. "Good morning, Sleeping Beauty," Cyborg said with a smile. Raven just rolled her eyes, then went and sat at the table. Cyborg followed her with 2 plates full of food. He handed her one before he sat down next to her. "So, how did he sleep?" Cyborg asked. "Fine. Why?" "Well, because you woke me up. Twice. You were talking in your sleep. All I heard was, 'Don't leave me,'" he said, knowing that I heard far more than that. Raven was about to take another bite, but when she heard that, she stopped and looked at Cyborg. "What? Is there something in my mouth?" he asked. "No. I'm just wondering what you heard me say." "All I heard you say was, 'Don't leave me.'" "Are you sure?" "Yes." "Don't lie to me, Cyborg," she said, looking right into his eyes. "I'm not." She stayed looking into his eyes for a few seconds more, then went back to eating. Neither one said another one thing until breakfast was over. "Well, I'm going to work on the T-car. Want to help me?" "Sorry, I have to meditate." "Okay, well, I'll see you later." Cyborg and Raven went their separate ways. Cyborg to the garage, Raven to her room. Raven started to meditate, but couldn't, because she was still thinking about Cyborg, hearing her talk in her sleep. "I know he heard more. Does he know that I love?" Raven said before cutting herself off. Great! Now I can't concentrate. I'm going to ask him again. And this time, he better tell me the truth. She walked to the garage where Cyborg was working on the T-car. He was listening to the music while installing a few more speakers. She didn't say anything at first when she saw him. She just kept looking at his hands. She drifted away again, remembering when she helped him rebuild the T-car. It was those hands that wiped away the grease on her face and moved her hair out of her face before he leaned in to kiss her, but was cut off by Robin checking on them. Even though they were metallic, they felt human when they rubbed against her face. "Oh, hey, Ray! Came to help after all, huh?" Cyborg said, snapping her out of her trance. No. I came to," she said, but was cut off by Cyborg's communicator. "Hell, oh my gosh!" Cyborg explained when he saw who was on the other side. It was his favorite role model, Superman. Cyborg was giddy as a schoolgirl when he saw that the Man of Steel was calling him. "You're Superman!" Cyborg said as Raven walked away. Yes, you must be Cyborg. I've heard a lot about you. You have? Yep, from Robin. I heard that I'm your favorite. Well, I've heard about you too, and I admire you. You do? I admire how you have risen above everything that's been thrown at your way. I'm sorry that you couldn't make it this year, but maybe next year we'll be able to talk. You got it! Good. Well, I'll see you next year, Superman said before hanging up. Oh my gosh! Superman actually called me! This called for a celebration, and there's only one way to celebrate such a momentous occasion. Waffles! Cyborg said, before heading inside to the kitchen. When he was in the living room, he looked around to see where Raven was. He wanted to tell her about everything, but she was nowhere to be found. Oh well, I'll tell her later, he said before he started making his waffles. Raven was in her room, or should I say, in her mind to be more specific. She was finally able to meditate. Azrath, Mention, Synthetus. Azrath, Mention, Synthetus. Azrath, Mention, Synthetus. She chanted as she entered her mind. It was quiet and peaceful, just how she loved it. 1 hour passed. Cyborg had just finished his waffles and went to check on Raven. She's probably in her room. I'll go see if she wants to go somewhere, he said as he headed to her room. Raven's peace was ended by the same thing, or should I say, emotion that kept her from concentrating yesterday. Love came up from behind her, but Raven still didn't want anything to do with her. Go away, she said harshly. Maybe you should wonder why you aren't able to keep me under control. I told you, I don't allow. She was cut off when she sensed Cyborg knocking on her door. If you have no feelings for him, then why is your face red? Love said before she left. Raven left her mirror. I went to answer her door. Hey Ray, I'm not interrupting anything, am I? No. Raven said with her hood on. Cool, because I was wondering if you wanted to go out. She lowered her head so he couldn't see that she was blushing. I didn't mean like a date. I mean, as friends. There's nothing to do around here. So why not go somewhere? Cyborg said while waving his hands. What did you have in mind? I don't know. How about the fair? You know I hate the fair. I know. But I was thinking that since it's just me and you, that you wouldn't mind. Fine. I'll be ready in about 30 minutes, she said before closing her door. Cyborg smiled while rubbing his hands together. He then walked to his room to get ready. They left to the fair a little while later. The ride was a quiet one. Cyborg had to try hard to not smile because of what he had in store for her. When they arrived, they saw that it was packed. Raven hated crowds, but for some reason, she didn't mind it this time. Want to get some cotton candy? Cyborg asked her as they entered the fair. Raven just shrugged her shoulders as they headed to get some snacks. They walked around for a while, played a few games, and rode some rides. Every now and then, Cyborg would look at Raven, who would turn her head away so he wouldn't see her smiling. He took her to the basketball sod. "Hold on, Ray. I gotta do something," he said as he headed over to it. "You don't plan on wedding me another chicken?" she said with her arms on her hips. "No, it's something special." He handed the game runner the money and took his first shot. He made his first 3. "You're on fire tonight, Cyborg," the guy said. "Yeah, hopefully I'll get that prize tonight," he said as he made another shot. "Well, you only need 6 more points." "What is he talking about?" Raven asked. "They started doing this a few months ago. Instead of playing once and getting something with whatever points you have, you can now choose to save them and wait to get something better. That's what I've been doing for about 2 months now." "What are you going to get?" "You'll see," Cyborg said as he made the shot he needed. "You did it, Cyborg! I'll go get your prize now," the man said as he started to leave. "Wait, I want you to wrap it," he said, looking at the Raven, who was looking back at him. "Make sure that it's something dark," he said, smiling at Raven, who had one eyebrow raised. A few minutes later, he returned with a box that was wrapped in black. "Thanks. See ya," Cyborg said as he and Raven left. "Let's go somewhere more private." They both left the fair and went to a bench on the dock. There was barely anyone there. It was perfect. "Open it," he said as he handed her the present. Raven, while still looking at Cyborg, with one eyebrow raised, looked at the box and slowly opened it. Her eyes widened when she saw what was inside. It was a black raven statue with dark purple shading perched on a rock with an inscription that said, "To my dear Raven from Cyborg. Thank you for everything." I don't know what to say," Raven said in a low voice. "You don't need to say anything. Think of it as a thank you present for helping me with the tea car. You had this plan, didn't you?" "When you put it that way, I guess so. Come on, we should get this home so nothing happens to it. And besides, it's getting late." Raven nodded. Then he left the fair to go back to the tower. Raven held her present the whole time they were on their way back. "Did you have a good time?" Cyborg asked as they walked in. "I did," she replied back with a smile. "I'm guessing that you like my present." "I do. I'm going to put it in my room now," she said as she started to leave. Cyborg was right behind her though. "What are you doing?" she asked as she turned around to see Cyborg behind her. "I'm just going with you to see where you put it, if that's okay with you." Raven just turned back around and kept walking. They walked in her room, where she placed it on a drawer that was right next to her bed. Cyborg sat next to her. "It's perfect," he said. "Yeah," she said as she turned to look at him. When she saw him, he was smiling a smile that made her heart jump, and she froze. They both stayed there, looking into each other's eyes for what seemed like hours. But it was only seconds. Cyborg moved. Cyborg moved her hair out of her face and leaned in to kiss her. She closed her eyes and moved in to kiss him back. But they were cut off by Cyborg's communicator. Stupid communicator! He thought to himself as he got up. Raven opened her eyes, realizing what she was doing. When Cyborg answered, it was Beast Boy at the other end. Stupid Beast Boy! He thought when he saw who it was. What do you want? He asked sternly. I just called to see how you guys were Hey! What are you doing in Raven's room? He replied back. That's none of your business. Oh, I see you two were. Don't even say it. Don't even think it. Whatever you're thinking, just get rid of it, he said as he left the room. Raven laid on her bed. She could no longer deny the fact that she was in love with Cyborg. I'll tell him tomorrow, she said as she turned in for the night. Yeah, that's nice. I'll talk to you later, BB, Cyborg said as he hung up. Wait, Beast Boy said, but was cut off by Cyborg hanging up. Cyborg walked back over to Raven's door and leaned on it. He took a deep breath, then walked to his room to go to bed. Enough of games. I'll tell her tomorrow, he said to himself as he entered his room. Did he tell him, BB? Robin asked. No, he hung up before I could tell him. I guess he'll find out tomorrow.